Good morning, everyone. How are you all? So today we came in here, and I'm still on a spiral kick. There's just a couple more things that I wanted to try, so I thought I'd share them with you. Today, we are going to do spiral flowers. These are old flowers, and then the ones that aren't, I will have to remember to go in and take them out of inventory on my Etsy store. I am still congested. It's been exactly a month that I've had whatever this is I have. Cold weather has not been helping much. But I'm hoping that it's going to start waning a little bit. So these flowers, again, were made a while ago, so they're a little stiff. I have so many canes, and I'm just trying to get them used, basically. I'm going to want 3 inches because I'm going to do 2 of the same color. And I want one smaller. And then have one bigger one at the end. But as we found out, when you do a spiral, it's really hard to roll these when they're big. So if I were to do that, right? So almost 2 inches, the roll would only be that big. So it would be a really small cane. But considering this is just for fun, just to see how all this would look like, I guess it doesn't really matter. So we're at 3, right? I don't know, maybe I need 2 of each. I'll have to see. I have this weird flower too. I didn't want to put any purple in here. Well, we'll see. We'll just keep going. I don't know why it's so hard for me to find a blade every time, and then I always end up pulling out the worst blade possible. Jake is still in bed. I couldn't get him out. So I hear him down the hallway barking, so I'm thinking he's ready to get up. So I might take a break here and go grab him. Okay, so these are 1.5. Let me go grab the Jakester and I'll be back. Okay. Well, apparently he's not ready to get up. So I have this pretty yellow. I may end up going, I don't know, two canes in order to try this. I think all these flowers we have made somewhere on my channel. So if you like some of them and want to try the same thing, just go back to some of the old videos. I think most of the flowers that I've made we've done together. And honestly, I don't have to pull out the same canes. I can find some different ones to throw in here. So there are some that I don't have listed. This one's a little bit easier. So this must be a newer one. Oh, went a little too small on that one. So now we have yellow. This is my stick man. Be a pretty sherbet something. Love these colors. Very springy. So I also have some new rollers that I've been working on. So at the end of the video, I will show you those. And I actually have quite a few more to go. So it's the first week of my husband's retirement. He's pretty much kept himself busy all week. Today he flew to Arizona. One of the guys he worked with backed out of a trip. And they asked him if he wanted to go instead. So he is in Phoenix or somewhere around there for a PGA golf tournament. They're going to golf one day and then I guess watch the tournament for 2. So I've got a few days to hang out in here and get some stuff I want to get done. So I'm going to try and make as much as I can while he's gone. And that gives me a little bit of leeway. If I can get like 3 or 4 videos done in a stretch and then space them out for a month, then I know that on a day that I know that I'm going to be here alone, I can start making stuff and then just add to it. I think I did that through Christmas. And it worked so well, and it wasn't as much pressure. Because, believe it or not, it's a lot of pressure when you know you got to get a video up and you don't have anything. So this way, I can breathe a little bit. But it is beginning of February. And I got to get on taxes, so I think this is the perfect time to do this so that I can have at least a couple of weekends to get taxes done. Not looking forward to that. My sister-in-law usually does it for me. I just get all the figures to her. But last year, she just didn't want to do it anymore. And I don't know why. This is kind of like extra money for you, but I don't know, I guess she's tired of the hassle, so I either am going to do it this year on my own, or I'm going to take it to somebody else outside of the family and have it done. Or, again, I try and do it on my own. I just hate numbers. I absolutely hate numbers. Yeah, I'm not falling for that, Jake. See what happened to this cane right here? I don't want to go back in there because I don't know if he's barking because he wants to get up or he's barking because he hears something outside. So you can tell that this is an old cane. Because it started to split on that inside. So just hold it together. Kind of squish it. Push it in. Doesn't feel bad. So yeah, now we got a small one. And a big one. Which I don't know how it got so much smaller, but yeah, it's a little old. And then we're going to do this really pretty blue one, and I think this is the last one I have of this one. So I will have to make sure I don't have this one in my Etsy store, because now it will be considered sold out. If any of you are wondering why I have to go get my dog up, he sleeps on my bed, and the bed has a very tall bed frame. And I know most dogs can jump off, and sometimes he does, but he does have those weird paws, and he's been having problems with his hip ever since it started turning cold here, so I don't want him to jump off because I don't want him to get hurt. And it's weird, I woke up with no orders today. So it's a good thing because I'm able to get in here and work, but it's not a good thing when you got to pay your bills. So I will throw some new stuff up today. Don't know what yet, but I will throw some stuff up. Okay, so as of right now, we've got all this, right? We got a pink. Oh, I didn't use this one. All right, so do this one instead. I just want to see what we got. God, and how hard that's going to be to roll up. Okay. All right, let me see what else I have to add to it. I'd like to make it at least, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 inches long. So let me see what older flowers I have. I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I found some really old cane. I don't think these are listed in my Etsy store. There are a couple in there that I really love, that I've really got to make more of. Ooh, this is hard as a rock. These are old. So I may wrap, these are already wrapped with a very thin layer now of translucent. I think I might wrap them at least in number 3 or 4, since the translucent from the other one's going to be touching. And then I was going to put white against it. Now I'm wondering if I should put white on the outside of the flower. So I'm not quite sure how we're going to do this, but it definitely is going to be a translucent cane. I'm not going to use black. But I haven't figured that part out yet. Now this one we can probably get 3 or 4. Oh, look at that. Translucent's basically just sucking all that color in. So we're just going to do it this way. I'm going to try and work on just one side, since it's such a big cane. All right. And get 2. And then one big one for towards the end. So we would need 4.5. Perfect. Well, kind of perfect. Okay. So okay. So we know this one's going to be on the end. Okay, and we got 2 little ones. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do that with the rest of these. And if I find any other big canes and stuff like that, I will grab them as well. But we will come back when all of these guys are are ready to go. But basically, you get the idea. And remember, if your cane is really old and really hard, the outside might not be hard because it's translucent, but the inside is. But you can see that the translucent is hard. It feels sticky and soft, but because it's so old, it'll crack on you. So just make sure you're just kind of playing with it. If you want, you got housework to do or something, put it in your pocket. Walk around and do your house chores or whatever. While you're working, and the heat off your body into your pocket and stuff like that will also help soften them up. But don't use them straight out of whatever you've got them in if they're really, really hard, because they would definitely crack on you. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll come back as soon as it's all done. Be right back. Alrighty, so we're almost there. I was thinking I needed one more yellow. So I found another old cane. Tell you what, this is cheap tape that I hold these things down with. But when they sit on a cane forever, they somehow become very strong. Shocked it didn't pull the whole flower apart. But this is a bad end cane, so I'm probably going to only be able to use 2 of these instead of 3. Alright. That did not take long at all. But I don't know what that side looks like. Huh, it looks good. Okay. So this is the bottom of a cane that I couldn't sell if I wanted to. So I only can probably make 1. But we might as well get rid of it anyways. Yeah. It's going to be fun having to wrap all of these. Which we'll probably do off of camera. I won't put you guys through all that. Alright, see if we can go just a little bigger. Yeah, because he's just literally falling apart. Okay, so that's it, guys, right there. So I don't know how we're going to wrap these yet, but see, if I put them all together, then to me the flowers are just going to be really close together. So I'm going to take some translucent, either, I don't know, maybe a 6, even a 7. And I'm going to wrap these guys up. As far as how long these are going to end up being, so what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6. Got about, wow, 9 inches. That was a lot longer than I thought. So we'll see if we use it all or not. But I'm going to take some white translucent from Primo. You can use Cernit as well. But since this is open, I'm going to use this first. And I'm going to wrap each one of those canes, which it probably would have been smart to have wrapped them as I was reducing them. But we're going to go ahead and wrap these really quick. And we will come back when we're done. See you in a bit. Hey guys, so we have translucent wrapped around all the canes here. And now I just pulled out a bunch of translucent. And we're going to run these really quick through the pasta machine. Excuse me, I had a hiccup. And we're going to make a long strip for the bottom. Not quite sure that I took enough translucent out, but we're going to see where this ends up being. And then I have to decide, all right, how thick do I want this? So I'm just going to take off a little piece. That might be a little thick, right? So let's go to number 3. This is at the thickest. So I'll run it through. I don't know why translucent gives me those icky little lines on the side, but it always seems to happen. Alright. Now it's a little thicker. Okay, and then we're going to look at how thick a number 3 is. I think that'll be good. I have a feeling I'm going to need more. What did I say? It was like 9 inches. Oh, we might have enough. And now we've got the fun part. And that's going to be yikes. That's going to be trying to figure out which flowers we're going to put in there first. We might need another little piece, but I am not going to worry about it right now. Right now, I'm just going to lay that down and set them somewhere in the middle, and then we'll cut off. Okay, so we have all the pinks we're going to put together. I got a lot of pinks, so I don't know if I'm going to use all of them. And we have 2 different yellows. Hopefully you can see this. If you don't, I'm just laying them up, so you're not really missing much. Okay, so this one's a completely different one. And then we have a couple different blues. As you can see, I didn't really smooth this out after I put the translucent around it, because I figure when I reduce it, it's going to do it for me. I thought I had more. Okay, well, I thought I had more orange. I didn't realize I only had 2 sticks. Okay, so here we go, from the smallest to the biggest. All right. That one. No, let's go blue here. I'm going to take this blue. I only have one of those. That's getting a little big here, though. Ooh, nope, this one and this one I want to put on the end, and this one, because these are bigger. So we're going to go one more yellow. Let's do one more pink, a blue, another blue, another orange. We'll get this tiny little yellow one. And then we're going to do a pink. You know what? Nope, we're going to do that pink. Nope, we're going to do that pink. This one, a blue, and that. So we've got an extra one there. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Yes, we need a little more translucent. So I'm going to just take this. The other spiral that I'm going to do is going to be flat pieces. So I'm hoping that'll be a little bit more easy than these round ones. Okay. So I think I can do 3 more. Okay, and then we're just going to add a couple more inches to that. We should be fine with what I've got cut out, I hope. Okay, I'm going to put that right up against that. I think I'm going to take the blue and then this. Okay, so this is what we got. I'm not nervous yet, but I'm going to be nervous as I roll this. This is going to be a big cane, I think. It's going to be bigger than what I usually do. But if it turns out good and it's too big for what I can use, I will put it in my Etsy store, right? Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a very thin strip of translucent on top. And then I'm going to do a white at a number 3. Same as the translucent on the other side. I would love to somehow figure out, I was thinking of putting like little leaves in between somewhere, but I didn't want to go too complicated for me, not for you guys, but for me, because I wasn't sure if I could pull it off. All right. So I think on this side, I think I'm going to go to a number 4. Which is what I got here. And let's see if we got enough. It stuck to itself. I just want to make sure it's wide enough. It is. But it kind of stuck to itself, so I got to do it again. Alright. So now, I might have to fill these holes with a little bit of clay so that it's nice and flat on top. So for that, yeah, I'm in a really bad spot where I laid this down. I don't have a whole lot of room to work. And we are just going to make little logs. And they're going to be really little logs. This was definitely very time consuming to make this cane. Not a whole lot of steps, but between the wrapping of all of them, it took a little bit of time. So I am really glad that I paused the video, because this may have been really long. And I know some people make really long videos, but sometimes I just don't have a couple of hours to watch one, so I end up forwarding through a lot of it. And then go back if I feel like I missed something important, which I usually do. I started binge watching a show called The Chosen. I don't know if any of you have heard it. I just keep seeing the advertisements for it come across social media and stuff, and apparently it's on Amazon Prime for free. So I started watching it, and it's really, really good. It's basically the story of Jesus, but the way they did it, it just, you know, it's not like when I grew up, every Easter, my sister lived across the street when she first got married from us, and we used to go to her house, and it was always like the 10 Commandments with Charlton Heston. Okay, I'm aging myself back here. We'd bring over popcorn, and she would cook, and we'd watch that every single year. And you go back and you watch it now, and it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I watched this as a kid. It's so cheesy. You know, we've come such a long way with technology, but I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's just hard to watch now. But this one put it into more of like, you know, guys having fun and, you know, like a typical life. You didn't go from, well, he went here and performed this miracle, and then he went here and performed this miracle. It kind of shows you what happened in between. You know, obviously they had to get to all these towns, right? So they did a lot of walking, you know, but it kind of put the relationship, and no, it's not biblical. You know, I'm sure everything else that he did was, I know it is, but as far as the conversations that were had and stuff like that, and some of the people and the characters in the show, but I really like it. I like the actors in it. They did a great job. There's a couple I don't care for. So if you do watch it, I'm not a big fan of Simon. Not Simon Z, the first Simon Peter, whatever. I don't know. I don't like his character, or I don't know. That's the one I don't like. I think my favorite is probably Matthew. And Gaius. I really like Gaius. And Atticus. Andrew. A couple others, but Just really enjoyed watching it. But now, I got nothing to do until the sixth season comes out. So, now I gotta figure out something else to watch, right? So, anybody know any good series? Because with Nick home a lot, I am in the office more. Because he's got his own shows that he watches, and literally they're the same shows every day, every night. Especially The Big Bang Theory. That is like the biggest thing. He's watched them 1,000 times, but he continues to watch them. I think it's just to have noise. I like silence. I don't have a problem with that. But he can't stand nothing on. And yeah, I don't want to watch something over and over and over and over again. So I usually just come in here. I don't really watch the news, but I'll put on like a, I don't know, like a YouTube video. You know, something like that, and I'll watch it because I don't have to watch it, especially if it's like, what do you call them? Like, just like a crime show or something, a podcast. Not Law and Order, Law Network or whatever it is. Okay, I gotta take that out of it because it's driving me crazy. Law and Crime, there we go. Because I can listen to the story without literally having to watch it. And so, it keeps me occupied when I'm in here. Alright, so we're going to put this through one more time. And then I'm going to take it in half. And then we're at a number 3, I think we decided. I'm going to look at that again, make sure. Because this is going to go on the inside, right? Yes, I know, I say right a lot. It's just a habit. You know, I think it's going to be okay. Part of me is saying I should go to a 4. But the other part says, nah, it's alright. Do it the way you were going to do it. So, we are. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay this right on top. It's going to be rolling this up. That is going to be the hardest part. So we're going to get this off. Because it sounds there pretty good. It's like a sandwich. This, we got a little bit of white and translucent. I will separate that later. I'm not really worried if I get it all off, because as you know, the ends are never good anyways. So, alright guys, so this is what we're doing now. Now we're just going to roll this baby up. And I guess pray that it turns out alright. Because it's thick, right? And you remember what happened with the last one. It kind of separated a little bit. So we're just going to go really slow here. And I think I'm going to put a little bit of log of white right there at the middle of this. Maybe. Just like this. Okay. Just to help me get it started. Now these are actually sticking close together, much better than the last cane I made. And I think it's because of that translucent look at that. Ooh, okay, now that one just made a liar out of me, right? And you just got to do this slowly. Try not to pull it or anything like that. Okay. So that's what it's going to look like. Now, if I wanted to, I could wrap the outside with white as well. Or I can just leave a translucent outside. What do you think? Okay, so this... I'm hoping I put enough space in between the flowers. It's not something I can take apart now. But I hope I did this right. Okay, and this is just gonna kind of sink it down like that. So now, oh, I don't know what to do. Do I want to put... I mean, I don't know what I'm going to use it for. So, if it would be a veneer... So basically, if I put white around it, it's going to close it up. By leaving it like this, it's going to be open. So I guess I can basically... It's going to be round anyways, right? And this is all going to be... So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce this. All right? And then... I think on half of it, I'm going to wrap with white. So I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to hit pause again. And I'm going to reduce this. Oh, this is going to be interesting how it turns out. Now I'm wondering if I should just take a thin strip of translucent to go around the outside. Okay, I'm going to sit it here for a minute, guys. I'm going to pause. I'm going to walk away, see if I can get Jake out of bed, and then I'll come back and decide what I'm going to do. So I'll be right back. Came back just for a second. I decided what I was going to do. I was going to come in here and I am going to wrap it, but I made it thin. So I made it a 4 on my pasta machine. So not thick, not thin. Hopefully just enough. And of course, I cut it too small. But that's okay, again, because the ends are never used. Okay, and we're just gonna go to about right there. And if I had to fix my mess ups, I can just grab a little piece like that and throw it right here on top. Or you can just squish it all up. Okay, so that's what I did. And now we're going to say goodbye one more time so that I can reduce this. This is going to take a little bit of time. So cross your fingers for me. Let's see what it looks like when we're done. Alright guys, well we are reduced. We've reduced this to 3/4 of an inch. I didn't want to go too small, but I didn't want to make it too big because I do plan on selling it if it turns out. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to cut it in half. Kind of excited, kind of worried. Let me make sure. Yeah, I'm just going to... So we got some of this is just a little thinner. All right, so we're just going to kind of do the wave here. Just a little bit, not much. Okay. And these, because of the thickness, will be sold at 1.5 inches. Hopefully they're 1.5, right? Okay, so we're just gonna take those out. Oh, and we're gonna look. I didn't put any white around it. Maybe if I use it, I will. If anybody wants to use it like that, they can. You ready? Well, interesting. I don't know what happened to the center of it, but I still like it. It's a cute little cane. The white in the middle gives it character. So now, if I wanted to, I can take, I mean, it literally would have to be a thin piece of white around it. So we're going to go a 6. I just did it at a 7, but I'm going to do it at a 6. So if I wanted to cut just one of these and make it like a pair of earrings, then I think the white border around it would be really nice. So I'm just going to do one. And I'll keep this one for me. But again, because they're so small now, is why I made it at a number 7 or a number 6 instead of a 1 or something thicker. I think I can go a little bit more off. Maybe we're okay right there. Okay. So you could also do that. So they both got their purpose, right? But literally, you can put this on any color bead, and whatever's on the bottom will show up. So I kind of like them both. I like them like this if I just want to decorate a bead. Because you know how when we make like a round bead, right? And I'm sure you've come up with this. Oh, let me see if I have a round bead here. I don't. But you know how when we make... I gotta have something I can show you. Because I know what I'm trying to say. I just gotta figure that out. Okay, let me just grab a little piece of clay here. I got some green here. Let me see if I have a cane that I can kind of show you what I mean here. Okay, so here's an example. Okay, so we have this scrap clay that we made, right? I really like these. I think I might end up making more. Okay, so I know that this bead is a lot bigger than this. But you know how when you make a round bead, right? So there you go. You're going to mix it. There we go. It fits half of it. Yeah, this isn't perfect. This is just to show you, which you guys already know. Okay, and let's just, I don't know, put it together or whatever. Okay. Put the ends together, whatever, and then make your round bead. Okay, so the one thing about this, and of course this one's not really showing it as well, is you always got that outer edge of this. So you've got this green. This one doesn't have it because it's not on all of it. But usually you'll have, like, you know, a black around your cane or whatever. So you'll have that strip that when you make your bead, you're going to get a little piece of that strip showing. Here's some of those dark ones I did last week. Not sure. This is a great example too. But okay, so you got your top and your bottom. So this cane had the black wrapped around it. So you're always going to get that piece of separation that always seems to show up, right? But with this, with not having here, I'm going to grab a cane on the end. That way I'm not wasting anything that I could sell. So what I'll do is I'm going to cut this just until I know that it's no good, basically. So I don't know how many canes I'm going to get out of this because I do have a lot of waste right here. And this is a lot bigger. Oh wow, they're really colorful, but they're really fun. So as far as pricing, I've just been looking at other people. Normally I make the really small 2" by 1/2 inch. But because they're bigger, I just go around on Etsy. I see what everybody else is selling them for. And I just basically go off of what they're doing. Just because of the fact that I don't want to go too low. Because I always undersell myself. But I don't want to go too high to where nobody's going to buy them. But these are time consuming. I mean, it's taken me a while to make this video. And there was a lot of pausing in order to do what I needed to do to them. And yeah, so it's a lot of work. So I'm just going to go a little bigger here. Okay, and this is where it starts to... yeah, it just starts to get this stuff right there. So now the flower is a little too close. So this is where I'll start on, although there's no problem with this one. So let's see if I can get one more cane out of this. Okay, so this is where it gets bad. So this one I'll keep for me. This is going to end up being scrap. But I am going to take this green again, or teal, and you're really not going to see what it's going to look like until, obviously, it comes out of the oven. Okay, and you really just want to make it like half the size. So, we're going to take this, and one of these canes will make a lot because of the fact that you just want a thin slice over it, right? But the cool thing is now you don't have that border to worry about. And yes, this cane is really soft considering I just finished it. Okay, so the only thing that's going to show up is maybe a strip of translucent. Or a little strip of blue, because I still didn't make it perfect. Clay's too soft. Okay. Let's see how you don't see where it connected. And then, of course, you could keep it round. Right? Or you can do what I always do. And you can just take it and make a lentil bead. I like the way the lentil shape fits better on the wrist or on the neck than a bulky round one. Okay? And then obviously you're not going to see what this really looks like until you get it baked. So this is my piece to play with. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, now this, with the white around it, again, you can use it as a veneer. Or you just get a piece of clay to put this on top and then make it so that you got those like little hollow earrings or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to use it, but I wanted to show you what it looked like with the white, and that way you can add it if you want. You could add black if you want. I think the white makes the flowers pop, and I think the black would kind of ruin that. All right, so we are at right about 1.5 inches here. But I have to admit, it was a nice way to get rid of some old cane. And I don't think that's going to work, but we're going to see. Yeah. So here's another cane that I can use for me. So now I have 2. That's all I'm going to need, because I can always make more, right? Okay. So we have 3, 6. We have 10 canes. One does have a white around it. But that's it for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was really fun. Ah, I killed that one, didn't I? I'm not going to put white around it. I figure if anybody wants to put white around it, they can. But that's it for today. I hope you liked that. And yeah, I'll get these listed as I can. And I still have one more of these I want to try on the spiral. So we'll see you then. Talk to you later. Bye.